Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84. And what are we looking at here? I'm going to do a comparison between a load of very small fruits off my variety Nikita. They seem to have pretty much all dropped in one go, and they're disappointingly small, of course. I think I did have one or two to taste last year. There are more this year, but it is not doing well in a pot, and the fruits, I believe, unless Nikita is a very small variety, are very undersized, but they're still big enough to eat. And next to it I've got a particularly large Gemini. This is another one of the Gemini, which is a very substantial sized fruit. I mean, not particularly heavy. Thought we just what we'd do is just weigh them quickly. I'm more interested in the Gemini, of course, but we will weigh a Nikita. Just take an average one because they're very small. So it's not even an ounce. So the weight in grams. Oops, didn't help if I do the right one. Right, let's just zero it. Try again. Right, let's try the weight in grams. 21 grams. It's about as small as it can get. I think this one's a little bit bigger. 25 grams, ridiculous. Now this I reckon is probably about 86 grams for the Gemini. That's not so bad, and that's 3 ounces. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to taste these. I may do a sugar measurement on them if I can squeeze some juice out of them. Just turn the scales off. If I can squeeze a bit of juice out of them. I'm not expecting the Nikita to be anything special. Now the interesting thing about Nikita, if I recall correctly, is it does actually have a very thin skin that's not bitter, whereas some of these other varieties have a very much tougher skin that tends to be quite bitter, and you don't really feel like eating it. But I think you could virtually eat these like a kiwi berry, and it popped the whole thing in your mouth. But I'm going to cut one in half anyway, so you can have a look at it, and then we'll see what they taste like. Be back in the second half of the video. Okay, so here we go again. So I'm going to cut one of these Nikita in half. It's probably easy to eat them with a spoon lengthways, but I want to cut it crossways because I want to see what the centre of the fruit looks like on this. Very a small jellified section in the middle. The Gemini I think would perhaps be much bigger. I'm just going to squeeze some juice out from this onto, because I find that pineapple guavas are quite a low sugar content. They tend to be about 12 to 14 on the bricks. Let's see what this one is. Good guess, that's 13. 13 for that small Nikita fruit. So what I'll try and do is, I'm not going to eat the skin yet on this one. I'm going to just pop the flesh out. Easier said than done when it's such a small fruit. Yeah, not bad at all, quite pleasant. Little bit acidic. Let's see what the skin's like. Not too bitter at all. Nothing wrong with the skin. The other half of the fruit, I'm actually going to eat it skin and flesh together. They go very well together actually. Let's cut another one in half lengthways. I don't think there's any need to... now you know these fruits are immature. They've got not pollinated very well. There seem to be no seeds in the middle at all. Certainly no dark brown. Perfectly pleasant to eat the whole fruit. I'm going to try the very slightly larger one. That's the largest of the Nikitas. There are a few more on the plant. See the shape of the inside on it. Now there's a little bit of coloration on the seeds there, but these fruits are not ripe. Let's try the juice sweetness level on this one as well, if I can get some juice squeezed out. I'm going to guess it's going to be exactly the same, around 13. That one slightly less, that's 12 on the bricks. Let's see what it tastes like. Now that had a softer middle, that one, interestingly. Softer, although the sugar content wasn't very high. Possibly just starting to go slightly, maybe a bit bruised. But there is a slight possibility that that larger one is not a Nikita, because I've got two plants very close together, and while I'd say all these longer ones are definitely from the Nikita, let's cut this one as well, there is one next to it, can't remember which one it is, it might be unique possibly, so there's a possibility that larger fruit might be a unique. Let's try this one. Perfectly acceptable to eat the whole fruit. Now let's look at see what this giant Gemini is like inside. Oh, that's got a lot of, look at that. That looks fabulous. Now that's what you want. The larger this jellified area in the middle, then normally the nicer the fruit is to eat. Now let's see. Interestingly, it's still not as ripe as I would have expected. The seeds are still white. Let's see what the sugar content is like on this before we try tasting it. Again, that's between 13 and 14, but it will taste sweeter, I believe, because of the amount of the jelly inside the fruit. So let's see what this is like. So this is my Gemini. Now that tastes lovely. That doesn't taste like the Triumph. That's more, how would I describe that? Definitely a different flavour. It's more fruity. How does that sound? Let's try a bit of skin on the Gemini. Oh, now that skin is a lot more bitter. But this doesn't taste like my Triumph pineapple guava. But that large jellified section in the middle is what I'm hoping to see on the Mammoth this year. That is a nice fruit. That Gemini. That is really nice. And good sized fruit as well. Still got a slight tanginess on my tongue, I can detect. So they don't have a high sugar content. Nevertheless, we'll go back to the Nikita. I love the fact that you can eat the whole Nikita. All you've got to really do is cut these ends off. You don't want to be eating that. And then you can literally just eat the rest of the fruit. So I like these thin-skinned Feijoas or pineapple guavas. That was a nice one as well. Well, thanks for watching that video. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please give me a thumbs up. Share the video if you think it'd be of interest to anybody. Those two varieties were Nikita and Gemini, and maybe one of them was unique that might have just fallen under the same plant. Not too sure. I think it's got some other fruits on it, so I'll try those separately. Please subscribe to my channel, and remember you've got to click on that bell if you want to get updates on new videos when they come out. See you all soon. Brett out for now.